Last winter, on some of the coldest days of the year, 400,000 homes came within a decision of losing power. The chief executive of one of America's biggest utilities said it plainly. We came very close to having to curtail power. Then he added the part that should worry you, and it's only getting worse. No hurricane did this. No ice storm took the lines down. The grid was simply running out of room. Something new is drinking from the system. Something that never sleeps, never takes a holiday, and never stops growing. A single artificial intelligence data center can use as much electricity in a year as 100,000 households. And America is building them as fast as concrete can be poured. In 2023, data centers used about 4.4% of all American electricity. By 2030, projections say 8 to 12%. The demand is set to quadruple. This is the story of the machine behind your wall socket and the moment it met a rival it didn't plan for. The grid is the largest machine ever built. Strangest of all, it barely stores anything. Electricity is made almost the instant it is used. Supply and demand must balance, second by second. Every kettle, every factory, every streetlight joins one continuous negotiation between power plants and the people drawing from them. When demand rises, operators spin up more generation. When it falls, they ease off. The machine breathes. The whole system is tuned to a rhythm of human life. Mornings surge, evenings peak, nights rest. Planners could forecast that rhythm years ahead because people are predictable. Cities and habits change slowly. For decades, American demand barely grew. The machine and its customers had an understanding. Utilities planned in decades. Power plants take years to approve and build. Transmission lines take longer still. The grid's calendar, in other words, moves at the speed of concrete and paperwork. Then a customer arrived that moves at the speed of software. A modern AI chip can draw 1,200 watts. One chip, roughly a microwave running flat out. Stack those chips into racks, and the numbers leave the household world entirely. A traditional server rack draws 5 to 15 kilowatts. An AI rack demands 30 to more than 100. Fill a warehouse with those racks, and you get the 100,000 household number. That's one building. In 2025, AI data centers drew about 4 gigawatts in America. By 2035, projections say 123 gigawatts, 30 times more. In Wisconsin, 2 planned data centers alone would need 3.9 gigawatts. That is the power consumption of 4.3 million homes, requested by 2 buildings. And unlike cities, these customers don't arrive over decades. They ask for their gigawatts in a couple of years. The machine that breathes with human rhythm now has a customer that never exhales. The collision shows up first in the queue. New projects wait in line to connect to the grid. Those connection delays can now exceed 3 years. For a data center company, the wait is the biggest business risk. Next, the wholesale market. Near data center clusters, wholesale power costs have risen 267%. And it shows up on the coldest mornings, when every heater and every server ask for power at once. That is when 400,000 homes nearly went dark. Not from a broken machine, from an oversubscribed one. Utilities call it curtailment. You would call it a blackout with a schedule. Operators saved it that winter by the thinnest of margins. The CEO's words, very close. And every quarter, more racks arrive, more warehouses rise, more gigawatts join the line. The grid survived heat waves and hurricanes. Never a customer that doubles on schedule. So the question stops being engineering and becomes arithmetic. Who pays for the difference? In Pennsylvania, electricity prices have already risen 13%. The local utility has proposed adding about $35 a month to the average bill starting in 2027. Its parent company plans $17 billion of new transmission lines over the next decade. On top of that, $41 billion of capital spending in just 4 years. The chief executive's defense is blunt. I cannot run a world-class system without investing in the system. The investment reaches your bill through rate cases, whether or not you ever prompt an AI. Consumer advocates are pushing back, asking why households should underwrite an industrial boom's power bill. Both sides agree on the underlying fact. The machine needs more of everything: wires, plants, and time. And time is the one input nobody can manufacture. 3-year queues meet 2-year ambitions. Which leaves one last question. Can the quiet machine grow fast enough to keep its oldest promise? The promise is the one you never think about. Flip the switch, and the light simply comes on. Keeping it now means building generation and wires faster than the paperwork was ever designed to allow. Utilities are answering with the biggest build-out in their history. New lines, new plants, new rate cases. Regulators are left holding the balance. Growth on one side, affordability on the other, reliability underneath both. For you, the signal to watch isn't in the news. It's the line items multiplying quietly on your monthly bill. And on the coldest mornings, it's worth remembering the margin is thinner than the thermostat suggests. This doesn't make artificial intelligence a villain. It's a customer, the largest ever served. Every technology eventually meets the physical world that hosts it. This is where software meets copper, concrete, and heat. The grid kept its promise for a century by growing slowly. Its next decade will be the opposite experiment. Next time, your receipt is a machine too. When the card networks stumble, whole countries find out.